The fact that I watched this movie, guys, was beyond me. And to be honest with you guys, I had to actually watch this movie twice because the first time I watched it, I fell asleep halfway through because how boring this movie is. So I had to rewind to where I think I left off and continue there. So even though this movie is about an hour and 43 minutes, this took me 3 hours to watch so I could review it for you guys. If you guys are curious as to why my voice sounds kind of funky, it's because this movie is boring to watch. There's nothing in this movie that makes me say you should watch this. As always, guys, I'll be talking about positives and negatives here and giving you guys my final review score. This movie is horrible. It's got a couple positives, but honestly, guys, this movie is a big waste of time. Honestly, the ending was the best part of the film. Yeah, this movie was a disaster. Guys, I can't stress enough how much this movie bored me to death. This is the biggest waste of time I think I've spent in a long time watching a movie. If it wasn't for the fact that it was on Disney Plus, I would not have watched this movie. The only reason I watched this movie is because someone suggested it to me to watch it and review it because it's on Disney Plus, and my friend that asked me to watch and review it has it and said, "Hey, it's a pretty good movie. Watch and review it. I'd like to know what you think." This movie is rated G, and it's a okay science fiction comedy film that I guess families can watch it and enjoy, but it's a brainless movie. You're gonna have more time. You're gonna have more fun having this play in the background while you fold your laundry, you play Monopoly, you eat some popcorn, ice cream, grab yourself a beer, some rum and coke or whatever. This movie is background music. This is background noise type of movie. The alien cat that they cast was really cute. The scientist love story was believable. I loved the interaction between Jake the cat and Frank, the main scientist character, trying to help him fix his alien ship. I also thought it was kind of interesting how they went about with how Jake, the alien cat, can talk to humans. Most of the characters are interesting, and when they're interacting with each other, it is believable. It just flows well that way. And you can tell for a fact that the fact that this movie came out in 1978, this movie prioritizes practical over CGI and special effects, which, you don't see that much anymore. But that's it, honestly, guys, for positives. I really don't have anything really like outstanding I can say about this movie. This movie is just a big waste of time, and I can't stress that enough, guys. Now I get this is an older movie. This came out in 1978. I'm not expecting grand, you know, explosions in a Marvel Cinematic Universe or DC or something like that. But there's nothing in this movie that stands out. I'm not going to remember this movie T minus one day. This movie has a lot of similar plot elements from E.T., The Shaggy Dog, and Escape from Witch Mountain. Also, I don't understand why they designed the alien's cat ship to look like the head of the submarine from 2000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's so on the nose and obvious. Also, this movie utilizes this necklace that belongs to Jake, the alien cat. This alien cat has a necklace, and it has no rules. It just this necklace allows our characters to be able to do whatever the plot needs it to do for the sake of moving the plot along. Like the necklace, if it needs to levitate something so they can move something from one spot to another, they can. If they need to use the necklace to, freeze people in a spot so they can get out of a sticky situation, Jake just uses the necklace. Boom! All these humans that are in the military, they're frozen. That way they can continue on with the main quest. There's no consequences. There's no stakes because of this one necklace device. It just does whatever the plot needs it to do, and the plot just moves along. Things are constantly said and done that really make no sense to the average viewer. There was a couple moments that I'm watching the film, and I was confused as to what was actually going on in the plot and what people were actually saying. Also, this movie really doesn't have a villain. I mean, it tries to establish a villain in like the last 20 minutes of the film, but by that time you really don't care. And the villain doesn't do anything. He just sits in a car, monologues. He sits in his secret base somewhere, does some monologuing and stares at a computer, and then at the very end he sits in a helicopter, jumps out of this helicopter with a parachute and gets stuck in a tree. There's not even a resolution as to do the bad guys escape or get captured by the United States government. No major plot holes really get answered, except for the fact that Jake the Outer Space Cat doesn't go back to outer space. He becomes a United States citizen of all things, which is just beyond ridiculous and stupid. This movie hurts your head, and it hurts my head to talk about it, guys. The mob and the pool scene where they're playing pool in this movie to earn money so they can buy a bunch of gold to try to fix the cat's ship. Extremely long, and it doesn't add anything to the plot except that they need money, and it's just a 20 to 30 minute plot point in the film, and it's like almost 1/3 of the movie, and I'm like, why did they spend so much time on this one scene so they can get money to buy gold to repair the cat's ship? It's irritating. It is a very irritating to watch side plot, and honestly, when the pool scene starts up, you feel like you're watching a whole separate movie because of what's happening. Like, they completely neglect the fact that they're trying to get money to get gold to fix the cat's ship. It makes it where they're just trying to get money. It really neglects everything that's happening outside of this mob pool house thing. I'm just like, oh, you feel like you're watching two movies at once. This movie is also boring, and it's generic, and does nothing interesting to shake up the formula. There's no reason not only to watch this movie, but if you're like me, I have nada, no reason whatsoever to rewatch this movie, and I cannot stress this enough, guys. I can't recommend this movie. Even if you have this on Disney Plus, skip it. Save yourself the time. Don't watch this movie. If you do watch this movie, realize you need a good amount of alcohol, some popcorn and ice cream, and you need some buddies over and have it playing in the background while you're playing a board game or something. Okay? Have it be background noise. It's a good movie to fall asleep to, which is what I did the first time I tried to watch it from start to finish. This movie is extremely predictable, and it's just unmemorable, guys. And I hate to say that about this movie. I was really hoping that this movie would be good. I stayed away from watching trailers and other people's talks about it and their own personal opinions. I watched this movie on my own accord, except for the fact that I have a friend that said watch it, he really enjoys it. Dude, James, I don't understand why you like this movie. I guess you're just into really boring movies that don't really have a complete concrete ending and just put you to sleep. But if that's the case, James, good on you, man. This movie will definitely accomplish that. It will put you to sleep, and honestly, the ending was the best part of the movie. The fact when the movie ended, I was like, yay! I made it through it! Because this movie is a disaster, guys. I can't stress that enough. With that, guys, I'm giving The Cat from Outer Space a 2 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream, whether it be here on YouTube or Twitch at Douglas447. Bye, guys.